Walk here, please.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you very much for talking to you. All of you.
What up, though? Big Five. You already know how it goes. Smash, like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment, as long as you comment. You dig? It's Petty Tupac TV. Make sure y'all smash them links, man. And when y'all see me out, and it's crazy that I've been at Walmart a couple times and ran into two women, ran into two dudes at Walmart, one in Target, one, and people notice me from the channel, and it's crazy. So if you see me, Big Five, me, I already know where you from. I already know you coming in peace. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of spooked me sometimes. Well, every time, except with the women, when the men say, "Hey, Petty," or "Hey, Barty," I'm like, "Who's dog?" Like, man, am I gonna have to get into a Walmart? Is it gonna be a baby situation? But no, thank y'all though, man. I appreciate y'all. Big fan when you see me though. Anyway, let's get straight to this video. I want to salute the brother Kevin Gates. I want to salute the brother Hassan Campbell. You know why? Because they admitted to molestation. You know how hard that is to do? To say you were touched by another man? Do you know how hard that is to do? People don't even want to admit that they lost a fight. They use every excuse in the world. I seen a guy from the Gay Boy Mafia in prison beat a guy up. Two guys up at the same time. And what I forgot to mention when I told that story, somebody else tried to jump in. He got punched one time and bagged up like 30 feet. Them brothers used every excuse. Oh, I slipped a couple times. Bro, no. Every time he landed a punch, y'all failed. People don't want to admit to that, man. It's hard. The human ego is crazy. According to science, a man to be in a restaurant and choking on a chicken bone but won't ask for help because he's embarrassed. Studies show that. Like I said, the ego, human pride, if you believe in the Bible, Jesus said the quickest way to starvation and the quickest way to hell is pride. People scared to ask for help, scared to say it ain't no food in the fridge because of how they look. But them two brothers, Kevin Gates, big gangster, been in prison, became conscious, religious man, spiritual man, big gangster, big stepper. He admitted to him being vulnerable at one point in life. And things happen. Hassan Campbell, that African Bambaataa story, check it out, man. That's crazy. I remember hearing about him when I was growing up, African Bambaataa, and being on this and that, and tribal and so on and so forth, breathing conscious. And the brother Polite disappointed me, man. I seen some stuff on him. I hope it's just not true. I hope it's not true. But a lot of brothers hide behind that veil of consciousness, hide behind that veil of being smart, to be whole predators in the background. But what you do in the dark shall come to the light. Things I've done, it's going to come to the light. But I know when the things I've done come to the light, I'm not going to be so embarrassed because of plenty of us done. You know what I'm saying? On that type of time. But nevertheless, though, everybody got skeletons in their closet. Some of them, just things some of them might be real skeletons, you dig? But anyway, big five to them brothers for sharing their story, especially Kevin Gates, because he definitely on a bigger scale, bigger platform, big streaming artist. How many people gonna listen to him and actually be able to come out now and say, hey, this guy violated me, my father did this to me when I was a child, such and such, and expose them guys for who they really is. Predators need to be exposed. Those type of predators need to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? That light gonna hit that that light will hit that mole rat one day. He will blunder into the light. He will unconsciously step into that light and get caught up and exposed for who he is or she is. And if this happened to anybody, and just like y'all hit me up and say, hey man, you real, I like your channel, such and such, what you think about this, what you think about prison, y'all can come talk to me about that type of stuff. We might even be able to Zoom and we can talk about your situation. It might be therapeutic to put it out there for other people, for put it out there for yourself. It might make you feel better. It might take a burden off your shoulders. Keep it secret. It weighs on you. I done been inebriated at points and wanted to tell somebody like, hey, I did that back in the day. I went up in that house and took them boys stuff. Pause. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Man, I used to do this when I was young. Man, I used to steal. Like, I be wanting to tell certain people that, like, you should do all this stuff. But it's a burden to me to keep those secrets because I never tell nobody nothing too deep, nothing that can get me in trouble, nothing that possibly could get me a rain the next day or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it weigh on me. It weigh on me. And I know people ask, hey, have you ever been through that? I've been molested technically. I talked to somebody about this, right? Technically it was molestation, but technically, to me, it wasn't. So I used to stay on Hamilton and Burlingame, right? Detroit. I was going to Durfee Middle School. I was 10 going on 11, right? I used to play with this girl, I forget her name, the little girl. And we used to, you know, I used to go down to their house, play and stuff like that. Her sister watched her majority of the time because her mother was always at work or just not in the picture or sleep, didn't want to be bothered. Real big woman or whatever, and you know, you barely ever see her. So anyway, the girl I used to play with had a big sister named Sierra. She was about 19 and she turned 20 in between me turning 11 or something like that, or whatever the case may be. And I remember one day, me and her sister was sitting on the stairs. She told her sister to go in the house. She came out, you know, touched me, kissed me, and then eventually we ended up doing something, right? But this the thing, right? And Sierra was a big old girl too, big, thick, voluptuous woman. After we, you know, initially did what we did, I lost my virginity to her. I'm like, man, I loved every moment of that. How lucky am I to have a girl that, you know, a lot of these guys in the neighborhood want. She wasn't the prettiest in the world, but she was curvy. I'm like, dang, the drug dealers on the block be trying to holler at her. When I walked past, they thought like I was little bro or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good thing to me. And after that, I kept pressuring her like, you know, we're gonna keep doing. She didn't want to keep doing it sometime. We keep doing this. And she was worried about me telling somebody or whatever, but eventually it got out through her little sister and somebody she was telling about it. And I remember the dope boys when I was walking past, they said, hey, little homie, stop. Hey, come here. I'm like, man, they about to whoop on me. These some Linwood guys, man. It's claiming Linwood over there. They was claiming 12th Street. So anyway, they're like, man, how old is you? Because I always look older than what I was. I'm like, I'm 11. They're like, damn, we knew you looked young. Maybe you was 14 and just looked young and we thought you was 16, 17, but when we was riding past, we seen you walking out of Durfee. We like, man, maybe he was up there picking up his little, then they seen me again. They're like, you go to Durfee? I'm like, yeah, I go to Durfee. They're like, what grade they go up to? I thought it was 8th grade. I'm like, no. Bro, I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. It was 4th grade. I believe, yeah, it was 4th grade. And they was just mind boggled by. They made fun of her so bad. But like I said, I enjoyed it. I even threatened her like, you know what? I'm gonna stop hanging out with you if we don't get back to doing this. But looking back in hindsight, that was molestation. But that's the closest I've been to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the closest I've been to it. So mine don't really count. It wasn't a traumatic experience for me. Would I want somebody else to go through that? No, probably not, because when you discover your sexuality very young, according to science, it can really mess you up. You know what I'm saying? It can mess you up. It can turn you to a predator. It can turn you to a bunch of things. But compared to their situations, Kevin Gates didn't get too deep into his, or Mike Tyson, commend that brother too, but Hassan Campbell did. And what was so crazy about it, man, which it don't surprise me, but it is crazy that gangsters, he said multiple guys was doing that. Gangsters. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was already, you know, getting into a lot of trouble and stuff like that, it's just hard just for me to wrap my head around how young he was, like at 11 years old, where his mind was at that time to still be molested. 11, 12 years old, having a guy tell you you need to do this in front of me, or this is how you become a man, so on and so forth, and how they talked me into it at 11 years old. Because I know we grow up fast where we from. At 11, no man could have done that to me. Unless, you know, maybe if it was happening to me as a child, and maybe it was like, it's hard to wrap my head around that. Where his mind was at, what he had to go through, how that guy really manipulated him. And to get him to be that old and not say nothing, man, what did he do to that man? And you see, he turned out, you know, super gangster, bodies, things like that, man. It was crazy, but nevertheless, though, I'm not a doctor, not a psych doctor. I'm not gonna sit up and try to analyze it. I'm not placing blame on nobody. I don't want you to come across like that. The more you keep talking, the more you might say something stupid. So I got my point out there. More people should open up about their traumatic experiences. It might take a whole load off you, man, that you just might feel so good that it's up off you, man. I'm telling you. I'm not saying walk into no police stations and admit that you killed 20 people back in the day. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm not saying none of that. Tell God that. Tell God that. Peace and blessings be to you.